It's not started yet on YouTube.
Hangout is live.
Still says waiting for Ramblecast.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
There you go.
Let me mute that. Okay. All right.
Nothing but the best for this podcast.
Oh, yeah. That's what they pay for.
I'm giving us a thumbs up. Screw them.
Yeah, let me give a thumbs. Oh, they took the thumbs down away. Nice.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Cool. Jerks.
Well, you're listening to the Ramblecast, the podcast that you thought wouldn't last. Out in Raleigh, Jack is passing out from smoking weed and a touch of gout. Well, Chris just punched through a door 'cause his team can't win anymore. Matt is drawing Nick in the nude. No one asked. Seems a bit crude. And you're listening to the Ramblecast.
That might be my favorite one you ever done.
Who are you, Nick?
You could just start.
Say what?
I said, screw you.
Screw me. Oh, yeah.
Talking about my teams.
This
like
is
that.
probably one of our top technically produced podcasts ever.
This has been a pain in the ass day, and I still see a thumbs down on the thing.
And
Is it?
I think Matt is still like a half a second delayed again.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like a few seconds for me.
Feel like I'm watching a Godzilla movie.
Nick is like, we're now the Ramblecast.
I'm just
Anyway, we're back for the Ramblecast. This is the live show. Sorry it took so long to get on, but none of us had the link to the chat. So
We didn't have the link to our own damn show.
Yeah, nope. And someone goes, "Where's the link?" It's what's always on the Facebook page. Oh, we got a new system, so Anyway, and I text Colleen. Of course, she's recording, so
nothing but
anyway.
the best.
We're here. We're here to make you get people happy.
So everybody have a good weekend. I went and saw the Toy Story 4. It's pretty good.
Did you cry?
Actually, I did tear up in one scene at the very end, I think. It's
When they said there's going to be a Toy Story 5?
Well, that's what I'm curious, because this to me did not seem like it is a Toy Story film, but it didn't seem like Toy Story. It's more like a Woody movie than anything else. I don't know if anyone else saw it, so I don't want to spoil it.
It's a porn star?
It's a porn movie, yeah. It's
Okay.
yeah, Woody stumbles into a place with a bunch of other dolls he doesn't quite know, Yeah, they like a strong man with a badge.
Are they sex robots and they've now taken over the world?
They're sex dolls, yeah.
Sex
and
dolls,
they're
yeah.
all Mm-hmm.
They're all like Buzz Lightyear with boobs.
Exactly. To infinity and beyond. Yeah.
Buzz Lightyear's boobs. Episode title.
I'm writing that down.
So it was a good movie, though. You enjoyed it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I give it a solid B+. I don't think it's probably as good as the third one and the first one. But it's definitely worth a watch. Like, you'll be happy with it.
Nice. I was thinking about actually doing a rewatch for myself. I think my daughter has seen bits and pieces. I don't think she's actually sat down through any of them yet, but so she knows the characters enough. But I think I'd like to have a sit down and rewatch to make sure I'm on the right page. But I had a crazy weekend for sure. I had 4 days off in a row, which came much needed after a couple of 7 and 8 day stretch of work. But so this past week I had Thursday through Sunday off. On Friday night, I went and saw Dave Matthews locally here, and then on Saturday night we went and saw Dead and Company. So we did 2 days, 2 shows, and it was fun, man. It was a blast. But I am paying for it now. I am definitely definitely not my younger self anymore.
Isn't that funny how all of a sudden that hits you? Because I used to go to festivals like Bonnaroo and all that, and you're functioning off of 3 hours or 2 hours sleep a night. You're strung out on drugs and alcohol, and then you just bounce back like no other. And like now it's like, dude, it's like 11:30. I should have been in bed.
Yeah, it was a crazy weekend, but sorry, I'm yawning now. I'm definitely paying for it. Yeah, so Dave Matthews put on a hell of a show, man. It was. I'm impressed by them, man. They've been doing this for so long now. I mean, and seeing how like they're getting old too. They're not getting any younger. But they put on a hell of a show, and you may know that Boyd Tinsley, the former violin player for Dave Matthews, was kicked out of the band for some illicit behavior that he had a couple of years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was some shady stuff that he was doing with a young man from, I believe, New York, who Boyd was using his influence in the music industry to kind of groom him.
Yeah,
it's a terrible story, but he's been out of the band for a couple of years now. But they brought on, and I've seen him play twice now. They brought on this dude, Buddy Strong. He's a keyboardist and pianist. And they're utilizing. I remember the first time I saw them play with him, which was about a year and a half ago. It felt weird and out of place because they were essentially replacing a violin with keys. And then so this is I believe the third time I've seen them with Buddy Strong, and they found their groove, man. It's actually awesome. Like they did a really nice job of like fitting him into the band and kind of almost replacing an entire section of Dave Matthews Band, but very, very cool. And then,
how old are they? How old are they now? What's their in their 60s?
Shoot, I don't know. Hey Siri, how old is Dave Matthews?
He's got to be at least 50, 52,
how
somewhere in
old
there.
Is Dave Matthews?
He's not older than me.
He's 52.
Yeah, see, I hit it right on at 52.
God, I thought he was older than me.
Johannesburg, South Africa.
Well, you think about it, like his first record came out in 94, and it's been 25 years, and I know he went to school for music, so, 22 roughly, so it's, it makes sense.
Well, I thought he'd been, he's just been around so long, it just seems longer.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, to talk about getting old, I also saw Dead and Company. Saw them on Saturday night, and they're old.
I know they're older. I know they're older than me.
Some of them are actually dead.
Yeah, some of them are definitely dead.
Well, I'm dead too.
So I've mentioned this before, but they John Mayer is one of their lead guitarists, and he also does supply some vocals. Does a lot of the Jerry covers. That show was not as good as I wanted it to be. Unfortunately, it was. They definitely took a left-hand turn down the acid trip. This show, no question. It was.
Yeah.
I got to that point that was just like I was coming down after having some a couple edibles before the show, and it was just like, oh my god, man, I'm like, just land the fucking plane, guys. Like,
It's funny how sometimes shows are that way. Like I remember seeing Mo in 2003, and I guess because they weren't popular in the South, they came out and just played like straight up songs, and then would just rock out, and then everyone was just dancing and having a good time. And then I saw them at Bonnaroo like 4 months later, and because it's Bonnaroo, they played probably 4 songs and stretched it over an hour, and it was just nothing but jamming. And you're like, what the fuck is this shit? It wasn't enjoyable. And I could see the Dead doing that because I have one Dick's Picks live from like 74 of them, and it's one of the most spaciest records I own. And if you put it on, you will go to sleep. But like, I love the Grateful Dead, but like, it just sometimes how certain shows are one vibe and others are different.
They want to do it their way, right?
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, and I actually watched the stream because you can watch the stream of all their concerts on Nugsnet.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching the stream of the show the next night, which is in Citi Field in Jersey, right, New Jersey, and the set was so much different, and it had a complete different vibe. Like the set list itself was amazing comparatively to the one I saw.
Well, do you think that they got some feedback from the people that were at your concert and went,
Oh, it could be. Yeah, I mean, that
Maybe
could
change
be.
it up.
No, I mean, like, I just think, especially at their age, it's like fish. Like fish doesn't give a shit. Fish will go out and play an entire record of another band for their entire show. And like, if you show up and they played the Who's Quadrophenia for their entire concert, if you're not a Who fan, you're like, what the fuck is this shit? You know, but like, you might dig it. But they don't care. To them, it's a performance. And, you know, you're there to see their art they want to do that night.
Yeah.
So.
And they even brought out Jerry's guitar, the Wolf, and he played it. John Mayer played Jerry Garcia's guitar that next show, which is kind of cool. But like all the songs that I wanted to see performed at my show happened.
Oh, the next night. That sucks.
But regardless, man, you know, anytime you go to like a performance like somebody like the Grateful Dead, I mean, it's unbelievable what they can do. They're that band has seen and gone through it all, you know, and for the remaining members who are still alive, they still, I mean, for what it is, man, they put on a hell of a show. It's just it was a different vibe and different mood than I was looking for that night. But either way, I enjoyed it. 2 concerts, 2 nights, had a blast, and my 39-year-old body is telling me to go fuck myself.
I did that a lot in LA, like where, you know, the ticket would say doors at 7, show at 8, and then you get there at 10 till 8, and the show doesn't start till 9, and you're like, fuck, man. And then by the time the first set's done, I'm like, I'm ready to go home. And that's one of the good things about the world we live in today. I can look up the set list and be like, oh, I can skip it and just go.
Yeah.
I know when Jay and Colleen went and saw Paul McCartney, we watched the kids at their house, and it didn't start till 8 on a Sunday. I'm like going, and he goes, well, he puts on a 3-hour show. I'm like going, what?
Yeah.
What? He's like 90. What is he doing putting on 3 hours? I have to get up early the next day to watch my granddaughter. My wife has to go to work. So we didn't get home till like 12:30. We didn't get to enjoy the show.
Yeah, him and Elton.
You should be starting at 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, Paul. Maybe Jay's right. Maybe you are a dick. I don't know. But you should be starting at 8 o'clock at night on a Sunday night. Am I right?
So Rose says it's kind of like waiting for a live podcast to start.
Well, you know, the broadcasts, they're not technically, you know, it's like we are here. Is she the one that gave us a thumbs down?
Maybe.
I apologize. I had all kinds of problems with my computer. Then I thought we were starting at 9:15.
Yeah, that was the original plan. It was 9:15. And then as you were informing us that you're running into some technical difficulties, it actually kind of worked out for me because I was trying to convince a 7-year-old that she needed to go the fuck to sleep.
It took me 20 minutes, not exaggerating, to get everything. It's just basically getting on the YouTube channel, hitting start, brought me hit the and then send you guys the link. It took me 10 minutes to get able to get on Facebook to send you the link. I'm like,
here we are though. Fuck it, it's all over.
Yeah, we're here. We're having fun, and Matt, I think, went to his work because his computer wasn't working and stuff. I'm still having issues. You guys are going in. Are you guys going? Am I going in and out?
No, you're fine.
Like right now, I lost Chris. I don't see Chris.
Oh, okay. No, he's just exhaling.
There you go.
Let's see what else I was going to say about
Concerts.
Yeah, something about concerts, but oh well.
But you think that Sunday would have been a day of rest, but no, that's not how it happens. So we get up, and then I'm informed after I wake up after having a few hours sleep, because even though you go to a concert, you still have to feed your kid in the morning. But I'm informed as I'm out running some errands, I need to go pick up a bunch of stuff because we're going over to our friend's house for like a Sunday fun day, is what we call it. So pick up a bunch of food and drinks and everything. So going to our
Did you say I went Sunday nap day?
I wish I had it, but then we just continued drinking. So it was a Miller High Life on the porch day of my friend's pool, which is nice. Now, I'm not complaining. It's been a blast. It's just I probably could have used that day for recovery.
Yeah.
Well, I know. We took Zachary had his birthday a couple weeks ago, and this was we finally had a weekend where we're starting. My mom used to take the grandkids out for lunch, and they could buy birthday. They could just buy whatever they wanted and all that different stuff. So we're going to start doing that with our grandkids. And I think this is the second year we've done it. So we go to Target and he wants Legos. And I go, so you're going to take those home and have your dad put those together, right? Oh, no, Papa. No, Papa, you can do it. You can do it, Papa. I go, I'm not very good at this Lego stuff. I don't know. So I sat there. We got home Saturday night and we're sitting there because he wanted to play water balloons, all this different stuff outside. So finally we started. We're watching the Padre game. They're losing. He's getting mad because they're losing. And so I'm putting these little pieces together. And I'm like going, what a pain in the ass to put I mean, because they have this little piece has to go here, little piece has to go here, little piece has to go here. And I'm like going, I'd like to find the engineer that designed this and just punch him in the face. Because why can't we just make big pieces? But I actually kind of got into it after all that complaining. I kind of got into it. It was kind of like putting models together when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
and
it can be very.
My dad never. Yeah, but my dad never liked it because I like to do my own imagination. No, you have to do it this way. So I was telling Zach the same thing. No, Zach, this piece has to go here. But he's actually pretty smart. He goes, no, Papa, you're doing it wrong. Then you realize you did do something wrong. You go, oh my, what the hell? And then so it was a truck with a camper behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm missing one piece. There was one piece. I'm looking underneath the couch. I go, Zach, did you put it in your pocket? Where? Because he was playing with some other stuff. I go, we're missing. See that little piece? It's got a gap there. There's a thin little white piece with the two little tops to the. I go, I can't find. Never found it.
Sometimes they do that.
So then he woke up to just piss me off.
No, I mean, like sometimes when you open the bags, sometimes like they can get caught in there. But most of the time, like I'm putting together the Stranger Things set right now, and they so far they cheated me one piece, and I was like, son of a bitch. But luckily,
so you're saying it could be it was a manufacturer. They just fucked with me.
Yeah, and then sometimes that happens, and you can write them, and they'll send you the piece for free. But luckily, like me, I have enough Legos where it's like, oh, I have extras, so I just found the piece.
That's what Jay said. Oh, he has tons of extra Legos at home. I'm like, well, I didn't know that you could do that. I mean, it's just like, and then the next day he wanted this boat fixed, put together. I was still sleeping he woke up my wife up at 7. He had Krispy Kreme donuts and his squishy bacon. He likes his bacon, so he's eating tons of bacon. He woke me up, so I had the bacon too. But at 8:00 in the morning, now I'm starting again, fixing this boat. I forgot to mention too, but like you've heard me complain about my back. Once I got off the floor of the living room floor, I couldn't get up. I'm like, you go, come on, Papa. I go, I can't get up. My back was just locked in place. But I did kind of get a kick. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd go out and buy a big Lego set and put it together, but I go after all that bitching and complaining, and my wife goes, God, you did it without cussing and swearing. I go, well, in my head I was doing because on the boat I put the wrong piece in, and I'm putting everything because sometimes you can't tell by the directions what the piece is they want. I mean, maybe it's just my eyesight. I'm like, I can't see the little damn piece. I go, so I put the wrong piece in. I had to take the whole thing up and get those little. But I had fun, and he had fun, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I'd hate to see your reaction if you put together an expert set, because like the ones that are like that with the boats and the trucks and the smaller ones are because they're made for kids. Like they're very like.
Oh, so you're saying it's easy, and I should stop bitching.
Well, they are easier compared to the expert level ones, yeah. Because like those, you'll have 20 pieces in one page, and there's just pictures saying like and you're like, oh shit, I missed something. Like they can be tough. And then the ones that are like really repetitive, like the Saturn V rocket and the Ghostbusters house, like you're literally building the same thing over and over and over again. You're like, this is boring. But I mean, you're happy when you're done with it.
Yeah. And so I did get satisfaction out of that. I said, okay, yeah, it's complete. Yes. Yeah. Good job.
And then Zach just breaks it.
No, he's actually pretty good. He's pretty good with it. He goes, can I put the tires on? I go, it doesn't say to put the tires on. I go ahead, put the tires on. Put the tires on. He goes, can I help? I go, yes, we're doing this together. And like I said, he knew more about the Lego stuff than I did. Mm-hmm. But I just, anyway, I got through it. It was I was dreading it all the way home. But from Target, I said, I don't want to put this crap together. But it was okay.
my dad did that, and because we went to Disneyland in '88, and I remember because Dad's a big kid, and we bought a shit ton of Star Wars models because that's before Lego made Star. And we put the Millennium Falcon together, and an X-wing, and a TIE fighter, and like all this stuff. We still have them. I mean, they're just models.
The old model glue.
Yeah, the models and glue. Yeah, and then and then I painted them, and I still have quite a few of them.
They still sell that stuff, right?
I'm sure they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was telling Zach, I said next time we're gonna get models and get the glue, and you can sniff it. No, I'm kidding. You can put the put the pieces together. And do it that way.
That's why Jay's hair was so spiky for all those years. Looks like I picked
great.
Looks like I picked the wrong day to quit sniffing glue. So I took your advice, Jack, and I binge watched both seasons of Barry.
I was waiting for Matt to come back because I finished it the other night too.
Oh, okay.
Yay, huzzah.
And I liked it. Yeah, the first season at first I wasn't quite sure, and then I forget what episode it is, but there's times like, okay, I'm gonna keep watching it. There's definitely a few times where I'm like, oh, that's great.
He's a different. You're expecting Bill Hader to be the comic relief, he's not.
Yeah, I kept expecting some random funny jokes in there, and they never came. And then finally, I think that's what took me to finally just go, okay, I'm just gonna watch this for what it is.
Well, you got the guy Hank. The Chechnya.
Yeah, he's funny. That's true.
He's funny, but there was an episode in season 2 where Fuchs and him, the karate guy.
Yes.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that one.
Yes.
I woke Cindy up at like 2 a.m. laughing at it. She just looked at me. I go, I'm sorry. Normally it's not this funny.
Yeah.
The karate. Now to keep in mind, the karate episode aired right after the Game of Thrones, the
finale.
No, not the finale, but it was the Battle of Winterfell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So it was like it was like such a good episode of Game of Thrones, and then right after that, Barry was so good, completely different, and a fight scene that you could see.
Okay, it is so funny. I mean, it cracked me up. That is definitely the funniest episode they had.
Well, the episode before that one, because everything that's leading up in season 2 about is Barry going to get caught or not, and then the last thing that happens before the karate episode with the person that confronts him, that one made me go, oh yes, just because it just I for some reason I don't know why I just didn't expect that twist, and I was like, that's great. I was like, I love that.
And I'm not that far into it yet. I think I'm like 2 or 3 episodes into season 2.
Mm-hmm. And I'll just say that I think the way that season 1 ends, because I'd watched season 1 all the way almost up until the last season, and I was like, okay, but then I rewatched. And I got all the way to the end, and I was like, aha, like that end episode, like the last episode of season 1, for me, I felt like just locked the whole show into place. Like it was really, I thought, one of the best episodes of the season.
So starting now.
No, just the last the last episode of season 1.
That's the last line at the end of season 1.
Oh, starting now. Yeah, that's great. So starting now. Yeah, no, you're right. That's great.
Well, what I like about the show is the whole time you're going, okay, he's done, he's done, and then something happened. Like I said, I don't want to spoil anyone who hasn't seen it, but there's always some kind of twist. At the end of season 2, you're like going, okay, come on, he's done. I mean, that last episode was really dark.
It was.
I mean, I don't want to spoil anyone.
Yeah, you don't want to spoil Chris too, who's only.
I don't care about Chris. I'll just get some glue. You'll be fine.
But there was one of those like behind the scenes episodes, and I couldn't tell you which episode. But Hader's talking about specifically writing for the show and how there's always moments where he wants to write it a little bit more funny. Yeah, and he has to pull himself back because he doesn't. It's not that kind of show, but he sees the potential for it to go into these other humorous or to write a joke here or there, but he holds that.
I think that was like with Nick. My problem at the beginning is I go, okay, is this a comedy or is it drama? Is it dramedy? I mean, there are a couple times I'm chuckling, but again, you expect Bill Hader to be the funny guy, and he has a couple moments, but mostly he just and his backstory, and you go, oh my god.
Oh yeah, the backstory episodes in season 2 were really good.
That was really good.
And I love the actress. I love the woman that's like the wants to be the actress. Like I love her character. I mean, even as flawed as it is.
That was. Go ahead, Jack.
I told Jay, I didn't like her in season 1.
That's what I was about to say.
She was so annoying, but in season 2, when she starts telling her backstory and you see what she's been through, you go, okay, all right, I get it now. It's like, well, do I like Barry? I don't know if I like Barry because
I like Barry.
Well,
yeah,
he has 2 names on the show, and he's playing 2 different people. I think he's playing 2 different people. In a way, I mean, that's what I think of it.
Yeah, no, that's. And I think when we talked about it before, and you'd mentioned that you didn't like her character from season 1, I was like, just give it a moment, because she really comes around in season 2.
I agree.
I mean, she's definitely self-centered.
That's in season 1 I didn't like her as well because I was like, gosh, she's really self-centered and selfish and mean. I was like, she was straight up mean to a lot of people, and you're just like, wow. And even Barry a little bit, even Bill Hader, I thought wasn't acting that well in the first few episodes, just even though he was trying to act badly in some scenes, but like you're just like, I'm not sure if this is going, but then it finally clicked. I was like, okay, I like it now, and I'll keep going. But now I gotta wait a year. Yeah, Henry Winker's great. Yeah,
I like the scene where he's talking to Bill Hader's character, and because Bill goes to him and he talks to him,
confides in him,
tells him his backstory. Like he goes, "Yeah, I'm here for you. All right, now we get a." So then he charges him for this.
And he also tells him like, "Don't tell anybody about that."
Yeah,
like not about the charge, but like about the personal stuff. He's like,
yeah, exactly.
I really shouldn't like. So, well, good. I'm glad that
I don't know
through season 2.
I'm not sure what episode it is, so I don't want to spoil Chris, but I did like it. When he's telling his story when Bill's in front of the class.
Oh yes,
and and then you see, you just said his name, the teacher.
Henry Winker.
Henry Winker. When you see Henry Winker like whisper to some of his students, and then what happens behind Bill Hader. In that moment, I have no idea what I would have done if that would have been me on stage. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, just because I've been like, I'm really telling you like a really serious moment right now. Are you fucking serious with this shit? Like,
But if you haven't seen it,
I have seen that episode. That is good.
You will not be disappointed in watching Barry. I think it has something for everybody.
It does, yeah.
And Hank's the best guy because he's bald.
I like him, because I knew him because he's on Gotham. That's where I knew him from.
Oh, I kept thinking he was on Fringe. I thought he was one of the bad guys, bald.
I'm sure he is. He's an assassin on Gotham. Ironically,
because most bald-headed people are bad guys, and he's a bad guy on this show. But
I think he has alopecia though, because he doesn't have any eyebrows either.
I think that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. He's just the character.
No, I mean in both shows he doesn't have eyebrows either, so I think he's just that way.
Maybe he does.
He is really funny though. He's really great. I love his character.
Barry, I love you, man.
I love the scene where he's getting his territory kind of like walked in on with the Asian mafia.
Yes.
Who comes in and sits down and like breaks her finger off like right in front of him.
There's so many just good things. Like even when he visits Barry at work, he's got the wig on. He's like, Barry, it's Hank. And you're like, he's like, yes, I fucking know. Like, he's so proud of himself.
I'll spoil this part. There's a part where Fuchs says to Esther, he goes, "Yeah, in America, that's a female's name."
That is good.
I'm sorry I spoiled everybody, but that part just because her look was just It's almost like Pat from from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. No, that's very true. So
anyway, I found that funny. But Barry, HBO, watch it today. I mean, the episodes are only like 20-something minutes
If
long.
you haven't canceled your subscription
to HBO, you should have saved it.
Yeah, and I did happen to, so we can get off this one. I did happen to notice that someone on this podcast, there's a DVD case behind them that is not moved in a week.
Is that still Das Boot?
It's still Das Boot. It's sitting in the same spot.
Boot that has not moved.
How's your daughter not knocked that down or something running by it?
She does not come in this room.
Oh, okay.
Really?
I feel like you should have held up your middle finger on that.
This video right there.
Nice.
My daughter doesn't play in this room. She has she comes in with her friends are over. And they'll sit down in here and watch TV, but she's got a playroom across the way. So
that's good. I watched what's it, Joe Coy? Is that the comedian Joe Coy? Anyway, go if you're looking for some adult content, a stand-up comedian. He did one in Hawaii. Oh my God, I was rolling my wife and I were just rolling last night watching it. Joe Coy, it's a Netflix stand-up comedy thing. He is hilarious. Cindy's been watching him a long time. She watches him on YouTube. I go, who's that? So that guy I watch. I go, well, put it up. She had it on her iPad. I go, put it on the screen. We'll watch it. It's not for everybody. It's not PC, but it was funny. I was rolling.
Jack, give me 1 second. I'm gonna take care of something for you. I know it's probably off.
Oh yeah. Matthew says that Hank does have alopecia.
Okay.
Oh, and also, Treast also points out that Hank was supposed to die in the pilot. So thanks for that. Thanks for that little tidbit there.
Oh, really? Because he does get shot. Spoiler.
That's true.
Spoiler.
Well, I'm glad they didn't kill him off. It's like Juliana Margulies from ER. She was supposed to die and she went on to become the good wife. So there you
go. Or Jack from Lost.
Has anybody watched? Is it called Good Omens? Or
no.
I had one coworker talk to me yesterday about it, and he really recommended.
Is that Amazon Prime?
Amazon show, yeah.
Not Netflix.
Yeah, not Netflix. Netflix. Because
it's the same one that has Man in the High Castle, right?
Is it him? Oh, okay. I thought
that's the same. That's the same network.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Well, you guys, I'm assuming, judging from the laughter, you guys have heard the story behind that, right?
Yes,
I have. Yes,
I have.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Did you put that CD away?
No, I closed the door for you, Jack.
Oh, the door.
It was open again.
Oh, the door was open. I didn't even see that. It's focused on that stupid CD.
No, the CD's still right there. Right there. It's right there. You see it? It's a Blu-ray. It's not a CD.
Blu-ray, CD. It's all the same fucking thing. Hey, put the 8-track. Put that 8-track away.
The beta.
There's also some blinds hardware that I haven't installed yet. Right there.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Maybe less concerts and a little more work around the house should be done.
Nope.
There is a guy I know who could probably use the spare work, Chris. He lives in North Carolina, though.
Yeah.
He probably do it cheap. I know he babysits for free. So.
I'm pretty good at putting blinds.
I'll give you North Carolina minimum wage if you want to come up and do it.
I'm pretty good at putting blinds up. Just give me some edibles. That's all I need.
Deal.
How are they working out for you? You still enjoying them?
I have one left. They kind of. So I had to go to the doctor. I didn't know if they're going to give me a pee test, so I kind of stopped.
For what?
I don't know. It's just it's.
We heard you've been babysitting. We need you to pee in this cup.
Well, you never know. But anyway, anyway. I also been watching. I started watching. What's that comedian? Julio Iglesias. What's his name?
He's a singer.
No, not Julio Iglesias. It's the show's called Mr. Iglesias. He's a really funny stand-up comedian. Bigger guy. Anyway, I've been watching that on Netflix. It's not bad. It's got some good moments on
Gabriel? Iglesias?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yes, he is. He's very funny. The funniest parts of the show are with him. But the first pilot episode, I like how he looks at the first 5 presidents and they all had wigs, and then he goes from there, and then he goes to the current president. I don't know. It's funny. But anyway, it's okay. It's not for everybody that's got a big laugh track and stuff like that. But I like him, so I watched it.
Hey, so does Big Bang. So that
And nobody watched that one, right?
I don't think anybody watched that at all.
Were people upset by the ending on that one? Because I don't know.
I don't know. My DVR didn't really record it, so I haven't seen it.
I never watched Big Bang, but I did read one article that people were disappointed in the ending because it was too predictable, and then that they got married and she was pregnant, even though she had said that in many episodes that she never wanted to have kids,
right.
And so it was like, what's they lost track of where the characters were.
Yeah, I mean that's one aspect, and I heard about that without even seeing it. But I mean that was one aspect that I was kind of annoyed by. Now I get it. Like my wife and I, we dated, and then when we got married, all throughout dating, we didn't want to have kids. Got married. All of a sudden, we decided we were going to have kids. So people change their mind. Fair enough. But
I've always gotten in trouble.
I just felt like with that character, and a lot of people watch this show, I think it's okay to send out a message that it's fine to not have kids. Like, why put on the social pressure?
Especially after you've had them. Yeah. Because they're such a pain in the ass. Did I say that out loud?
That's what cracks me up the most. I think about the difference between my 10-year reunion versus my 20-year high school reunion, and that you're 28 and you're single, and all of my people from my hometown are all married and got kids, and they're all looking. It's like, Nick, you're still single, and you're like, yeah. and then you see them 10 years later, and they're like, damn, Nick, you did it right. Like, I wish I was still single and didn't ever had kids. Fuck, like, how much money do you have, dude? Like, it's like you just gotta laugh.
I can honestly say that I've never. I'm not trying to sound like a contrarian, like right. Per usual, but like I've never felt that way. Like I've never wished I was single and wish I didn't have kids.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's funny. Yeah.
But, no, I mean, I joke about it, but I'm kind of mixed.
No, I mean, what age were you, Chris, when you got married?
I was 29.
Yeah, so you're perfect.
You're
perfect.
No. You're 29, because that's right. You just had your 10-year anniversary, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
You looked really young 10 years ago.
I know.
I'm like, I would have guessed you're like 18.
Well, 19, no, I did post a few pictures on
I saw
anniversary, and some of those dated back to 2003. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
I had to your head didn't look as big. You looked as haggard.
No, yes, my head's gotten. I should have those confused.
I really had to hold back from shitting on a couple of those photos.
Oh no, they're fair game, man.
Until his relatives jump in and give you shit.
That's what I mean. It's like, because this was his personal. Yeah, exactly. So I was like, I can't just go and just like rip on Chris right now, because there's gonna be some people that are like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
This asshole.
I'm guilty of that several times.
No, those photos are fair game. Like I posted those full well knowing what the wrath of some of those would be, and and people have been very kind to say it to me in person, and for my family to see.
You aged great there, Chris. Wow, man, you look the same as you did when you got married.
Man.
My
I'm
goal
saying to you right now, Chris, and
my goal is
how convincing am I?
To the weight that I was in some of those earlier pictures, for sure.
Good luck with that. But anyway,
it's kind of sad how like we all kind of get that man head at some point where it's like, what happened? Like my head was this size, and now it's like,
I don't think I've gotten man head yet.
No, you haven't, Matt. Yeah,
so I lucked out on that part.
I think
probably
I got
45.
Because
45 is
I don't have the hair. I don't have the hair, so I think my head looks bigger because of that. So
man head.
Well,
I've also had facial hair.
Actually, doesn't that stop after marriage? Man head.
It never reaches man head. If you've been married, you don't get man head. You've only had
Exactly.
I've also had facial hair like consistently since like when the Bruins win the World Cup. It wasn't this year.
Wait, hold on a second. The Bruins won the World Cup?
23rd. I want to say
the
World Cup.
Cup.
Yeah,
The World Cup?
I'm
Man,
so
those
sorry.
Bruins.
The
People from
Bruins
Boston
come
want
onto the
everything.
field and kick the
No,
soccer
fucking
ball
no.
into the net.
People from
Bruins
Boston
won
just
the
want everything.
Stanley Cup.
Boston and World Cup, baby!
The Stanley Cup, which was, I believe, the
There you
spring of 2013.
Stanley Cup.
And I've consistently had some form of facial hair since then. That was like it started with a playoff beard, and the playoff beard didn't stop after they won. It has varying different lengths.
So you're
but
the reason the Patriots keep winning year after year. Is your facial hair.
I would like to think so.
He hasn't washed his underwear since 2003. Just
No,
saying.
you're real bad.
Not until Tom Brady retires. I
So,
have to pry it off, but it's okay.
so speaking
it didn't start out green.
speaking of the World Cup, though, have you guys watched any of this or at all? Or are you guys just like no soccer, no women? Just
No, I don't have Fox, but I do like. There's a commercial on. My granddaughter likes to watch the Bengals videos, and after every commercial, there's after every song, the Demo plays they play a commercial.
Oh, okay.
And they have this one that's a great one. It's the women's soccer team talking about Fox, and they say David versus Goliath, and they show the women running and the women playing. Well, the women turn out to be Goliath, and David's are coming after them. It's a real. If you haven't seen it, it's a really good commercial.
Okay.
Really good. No, I wouldn't not watch it because it's women. It's not like it's basketball or something.
Yeah,
Well, they've been dominating though. But yesterday's game was actually one of the better games of the event. I mean,
which one are you talking about?
When they won by a penalty.
Yes, the penalty kick. I didn't know which game we were talking about. If you're talking about USA, or if you're talking about just
who are they playing?
They played because they knocked them out. And I watched that game.
I watched the highlights. I didn't get to watch the whole game.
Oh, I've watched a lot of the games. So my weekend or week has been with my sister. I have a half sister. She drove in from Washington State with her husband and my niece, who is just 3 years old and a really cute phase because I don't get to keep her, but I get to play with. So that was a lot of fun. So basically from last Wednesday, and she left today about 6 o'clock, and I'll get to see her in a week's time, but it was still. Well, Nick, no, my sister is fully white. Thanks for asking. Thank you. Thanks for that. Just call you out on this live Patreon feed here.
Wait, that's your joke. You started it.
So anyway, yeah, I started the joke. So to fill you in on last week, if you listened to last week's podcast,
don't. It's so much better if you let it roll.
Okay, that's fine. Put it together. Put the pieces together. It's a mystery.
Let people use their imagination.
All right.
I will say this. I will assure you all who are listening and or watching right now that Matt is not a bad person.
No, he's not. You know, it's funny. As I thought I heard someone typing, all of a sudden it popped up on the screen.
So anyway, so my sister's in town, and it was a lot of fun to just kind of be with her and to hang out with her and her family. And we watched a lot of Women's World Cup. We watched a lot of the games, and it was U.S. versus Spain. So sorry to blank on that. I kept thinking of U.S. versus Sweden, but that was the game before that.
We knocked Spain out.
We knocked Spain out. It is now in the knockout.
You know how I said we.
Yes. Yeah, you were on the team, Jack. You were just like one of those girls holding the hands of the soccer player, running out onto the field.
I'm just like one of those people.
You were just like one of those people.
I'm there.
Anyway, we are now done with the round of 16. on to the quarterfinals. U.S. versus France, the host team. Should be a great game. If you're not watching this,
it will beat France, right?
It's the host nation. They are in.
So you're saying they're going to get the calls.
They're going to get the calls.
They're going to get the
home court advantage. So Friday should be about. I think it's like 3:00 is Eastern Standard Time. So USA plays.
It's on Fox, right?
That one should be on Fox. Now, my local affiliate did not pick up the U.S. versus Spain, which was.
So I might find these games on Reddit, is what you're telling me.
No, I mean this U.S. versus France though.
I don't have cable.
Affiliate. No, it'll be on your local affiliate like Fox channel.
So I don't know if I have that.
You don't have that.
I don't have an antenna.
Wow, you were really living in the past.
I have Reddit.
Okay.
I can get any game I want. You can get anything you want.
YouTube TV.
You can get.
You can do YouTube
Reddit.
TV. So
I canceled that as after my Bruins lost.
I watched the Karate Kid and canceled it right away. Signed up, watched Karate Kid and canceled it. YouTube.
Oh
yes, they give you 5 days free trial, and if any of the other Owen and Baru's listener or podcasters on this show have access to the email, I did sign up for us through that because I wanted my 5 days. If you use a different Gmail account, essentially you can get another 5 days free.
Oh,
so,
good move.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So another Gmail account will work. And
glad I wasn't included, but that's okay.
I don't know if they're looking it up through the way that you paid, because my initial one was through a different Gmail with my YouTube, or not my YouTube, but my PayPal. And then this other one was with the credit card. So
because I going back to Reddit, I have the access to the Major League Baseball package. Well, when the Padres play Washington, even in San Diego, those games are blacked out for whatever reason. That just makes all the sense to me. I'm going to drive up to a bar in Washington, D.C., 4 hours one way and watch a game. And now Baltimore, they're playing Baltimore. Those games are blacked out because I'm going to drive even further. I mean, I guess I could have gone to Baltimore and watched the game because a lot of people were dressed as empty seats. But if you go on Reddit, you can find those games and watch it for free. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
But I'm said it shouldn't be blacked out in the first place.
I'm not laughing at you, Jack.
You're not laughing at me?
I'm laughing at Chris's Johnson.
I didn't see that. No, anyway. But anyway, now I'm distracted.
It hasn't.
Did it age properly? Let's see. Anyway.
Yeah.
Do they ever?
He's also using Propecia down there. Like, why is it receding? I used to have a treasure trail. It's all gone.
Hold on. Does Propecia have an effect on hair, on your body other than your head?
No.
No.
At least I don't think so. I don't think it does.
Well,
let me ask you guys your opinion. I want to ask you guys your opinion on this. I might be opening myself up to whatever.
I will give you an honest answer.
Yeah. So I'm going on vacation next week. I'm going to go on the beach for a week and just disconnect, which is going to be great. Yeah. Do I or do I not wax my back?
I've never waxed it.
I've never done it either, but I'm sure as hell thinking about it because when you're
39 years old, a
lot of that hair starts going backwards.
Yeah.
Right down your back.
that has always been my complaint.
I'm sure you've seen those Facebook ads, for the big back shaver.
Yeah, that big back shaver.
Yeah.
Or you just get a laser off. That's my biggest complaint about hair in general. Why does it leave your head?
Yeah,
and grow everywhere else.
Well, I remember when I was 24. I was 24 or 25, and I went to the barber, and the first time I'd ever seen a barber take, a comb and then just shave my eyebrows. Not shave, but trim my eyebrows. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And then now I do it myself because these damn things just keep growing. And I'm like,
yeah.
And you know, when you're a kid, you never think about your eyebrows just keep growing. And
No.
you're like, why are my eyebrows just keep getting longer and longer?
Especially if the guy that plays Hank.
Yeah.
All right, am I right?
My wife likes to grab them and pull them, like pluck them.
Oh,
Like the long. Yeah, I know. I'm like, and especially when I'm driving, I'm like, I could see.
When you're driving,
Yeah, I'm like, I'm driving. Don't. So.
I have this one eyebrow hair that's right here. I just cut it. I'm too afraid to pull it. I mean, just.
At least it's not a nose hair, Matt.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that is true, but you got to keep on that stuff too, because fortunately, you know, they say you inherit your mother's father's hair genetics. So looking at my grandfather on my maternal side, I'm like, okay, you know, he had a full set of hair, but he also had a full nose set of hair too. So, you know, gotta keep on that. But to answer Chris's question though about the back hair situation, I mean, there's a couple follow-up questions I have. Like, are you just going shirtless this whole time, or is this kind of like a part-time thing, like when you go shirtless?
Oh, I guess when I'm on the beach, you go shirtless.
Well, I got a question. How bad are you? Do you have abs, or is it
got the one pack?
I've got a keg.
Yeah,
because if you got the keg, no one's looking at your back.
No, it's more of like a. So the reason why I thought of it two separate scenarios. So I feel like the fates are telling me to do it. So one of our local radio shows in Boston, the Hillman Morning Show. It's a morning show for WAF in Boston. He had a bet going with I believe one of the St. Louis radio stations as well. That he ended up losing the bet. I don't know what all the total stipulations were, but for him losing the bet, he had to go on air and wax his back.
Wait, can you hold at that?
Sure.
Time for commercial break.
Oh yeah.
All right, continue.
So when he lost the bet and he had to go on air, and what made me think about it is that when I saw him with his shirt off, they did like a live broadcast of it on Facebook. I was like, damn, that fairly overweight man has a back that looks exactly like mine. I'm like that looks like it could be me, right? And from the physique, and then of course the hair and the chops in the back and the whole nine. I was like, maybe I should do that. And then that proceeded to watch a live stream of it, and how much pain he went through made me think otherwise. But then I was on Groupon today, and because I was buying. By the way, if you ever need to get an oil change, at least in this area, always look at Groupon first. So I got like a full synthetic oil change for my Jeep for like $35. Anyways,
nice.
I hope Amy is still listening.
And there's our commercial.
There you go. And when I did buy it, I got, well, you're in the area. Would you be interested in a waxing? And I was like, no, yes.
Well, how do they know that?
No idea. It's the internet, man. They're weird. But I was like, maybe I should do that. And I'm going on vacation next week. Maybe I should do it. So I've been thinking.
Are you? Is it going to ruin your vacation if you don't do it? Are you going to be thinking of people staring at your back?
I wonder if it would enhance my vacation, enhance my back tan.
Okay.
What if we get them all ripped out and then like your back is like nothing but little scabs all over?
So that's what I'm worried about.
Okay, here's the other thing though. Like after the hair is gone, what happens in a month from now when it's all growing back and you're like, oh, I just gotta itch my back, right?
So these are all questions, and these are all. Oh my God! So okay, JP just sent me a picture.
Yeah, he sent it to us. I think all of us. Yeah.
Oh, I have not seen this. Okay.
So the JP did send a picture of a gentleman on the beach who did not find that Groupon. I am definitely not that level of hair. It's actually not that much. Maybe I'm just being a little self-conscious, but I was thinking maybe I should do it. But who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
if it's going to ruin your vacation, do it.
I think. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a little vanity, from time to time. Like, I I don't know how well it worked, but there was one of those teeth whitening clinics that I went to in LA before I moved out here, because like, I've never done it. Let's try it, and you sit there underneath the light for 15, 30 minutes, whatever. And, it lightened my teeth like 6 or 7 shades. But then they tell you, like, you can't have any dark drinks or blah, blah, blah for like 4 days. You're like, what? And so like, you just drink like water.
Didn't tell me that ahead of time.
Yeah, well, they said because it opens all the pores within your teeth. And so if you drink Coke or anything that's dark, it'll go into those pores and then just redarken your teeth again.
So it only did 6 or 7, not 50 shades?
Well, she actually told me that it was really because she showed me the scale of what my teeth should go from just this, because it was my very first time to ever do this, and then it actually went like another 3 or 4 shades lighter. So she's like, "Oh wow!" She goes, "Yours worked really well for you." I was like, and of course, it could just be one of those sales things where they're like, "Look, your teeth are even whiter than what it was supposed to be," but who knows? I mean, I'd do it again. It wasn't that.
Sounds like a close-up commercial.
Oh yeah, I remember those from as it was.
Remember the close-up commercials?
Where they put the teeth inside the.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Yep.
Yep. And their teeth on TV would be so bright and white that
Ding!
Well, I don't want to be Ross from Friends.
So
where they're going
Amy in the chat. Amy in the chat actually provided me with some valid feedback.
Well, you said we didn't offer it?
I will say that Nick did provide the most valuable of the feedback from you two, or you three. So I appreciate that, Nick. But Amy says the only thing you'll have to worry about is your skin will be super sensitive to the sun. You'll need whatever Jack uses for his noggin.
But that's what's funny. Did you guys read that?
You get a back hat.
But did
sure,
you guys
go ahead and pick on the bald guy. It's okay.
Did you guys read that? I think it came out maybe 3 or 4 days ago. There was some article going around of a study showing that actually suntan lotion now it's confirmed it is absorbed by your skin, which is bad for you. And so especially the spray on lotion said it was like it's really cancerous.
So fuck, great.
It's a spray on lotion.
It's cancerous because you're breathing it in.
Oh, well, but it was saying that the study was saying though that your skin absorbs a lot of the chemicals that are in it as well, which is bad for you.
That's interesting.
Is a spray on lotion bad? Say you're at a t-ball game, your grandson's t-ball game, and the person next to you spraying the spray, and it's windy, and it's blowing in your face. Yet they keep spraying the
I think
the
that's
lotion,
minimal.
and nothing's going on them, but you have to actually move because this person's so rude that they don't move 3 feet away from you, and they just spray it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
it's all blowing all over you.
Well, in that situation, I know if you're at a Boston or any kind of New England area, the person that's behind usually just stands up and punches you in the face.
Yeah, because
that's what they do.
I'll be honest with you, I felt like doing that, but I decided I guess I'll walk away because I'm getting in your space for your spray. It's okay. Keep spraying your spray on my bald head. So that
our pediatrician definitely says that it's actually not great to have for kids because kids, when you're spraying it on a kid, the chances of them inhaling, the whatever is coming.
What I do is I spray it on my hand and then rub it on them.
Yeah,
I like to spray it in a rag and then make them huff it. So does that do the same effect here?
Only when you're trying to kidnap.
Okay.
Interesting story that I learned about today. It has nothing to do with making kids huff chemicals.
Oh, okay.
So believe I've talked about this before. Maybe I haven't. I'm not sure. My wife, alongside having breast cancer in the past, she also, since having been treated for breast cancer, actually had to get treated for skin cancer too.
Oh,
really?
And thankfully, it was a procedure that took care of it. Right. So she had the skin cancer removed. It was on her foot, and it is actually. The difference between this and having breast cancer is that she had no power over, what happened, with her breast cancer, but it was completely under her power to not have skin cancer, and she realizes that, right? So,
but
it's super important to wear sunblock, one way or another. But what's interesting
isn't it more when you're younger?
No.
No,
I think
it
at
can't be.
any age,
Yeah,
yeah.
any age.
I thought it was worse when you were younger.
There can be some long-term effects for sure of being in the sun. My dad had to have some areas of the tops of his ears removed, and he farmed for years and
Yeah.
years. So and those tops of his ears just So I mean, I think there's a little bit of both. There's exposure when you're young, but then there's also continued exposure also without
Absolutely.
doing anything.
So the reason why I bring it up is that this actually just happened today. So my wife went in for her dermatology checkup on her foot. I think it's been maybe a year and a half, a year and a half since the procedure she had and everything. But there's a new study that has revealed that apparently if you are taking enough vitamin B3, or in this case, the chemical name is niacinamide, which is essentially vitamin B3. Taking 500 milligrams. Preface: I am not a doctor. I'm not prescribing anybody any drugs. But
Nice cover.
Mentioned. So
I was writing it down, so you better be right.
Get me on to the FDA saying that I'm prescribing drugs.
At this point, we'd like to take a break for a commercial.
But if you take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin B3 a day, which is 2 of these pills, 500 milligram pills, it actually significantly reduces your chances of getting skin cancer by increasing your body's defense. So, so I got it ordered right here on Amazon through Amazon.com/JayandJack.
Is there a pill though that takes out the back hair?
I wish, but there it is right there.
It's funny because it's funny you brought this up because Sydney and I, after Zach's last T-ball game, we're talking because it was sunny and bright. I go, it's amazing because growing up in San Diego, it's sunny year round. You're always out in the sun. I mean, I was out in the sun, but luckily on my head I had a lot of hair, so I got protected there. But we used to see who could get the tannest. We didn't put. There was no sunscreen. I mean, it was sun. It was just like baby oil you just put on yourself, bake, and did this all the time. It's just like so.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember growing up as a kid. My parents would put on like Hawaiian tropics, like tan or sun magnifier. It wasn't a
Capricorn.
It was like literally putting a freaking magnifying glass up against your skin. Dude, that was, and that was just it. But granted, I mean, what's crazy is that the ozone layer changes in the last 35 years have been so dramatic that you would never even dream of doing that now. And the prolonged, exposure that many people had back in the 70s and the 80s, which seemed like not an issue back then, is becoming a serious issue today. And so skin cancer is no joke at all.
There's no Propecia for the ozone layer.
No, there's not.
Can't comb it over.
But I was going to say earlier, like I discovered 10 years ago or so, because I'm fair skinned, as you guys know, and the
red hair.
Yeah. When I was doing archaeology, because you have your natural protection, like Chris saying, and oils that come out at night. And if you don't shower in the morning, like if you know you're going to be outside, shower at night before you go to bed and not in the morning, because then all your oils will be there. And I found doing archaeology, I didn't need sunblock in the morning. And
so you're the smelly guy.
The smelly guy, yeah. Well, you're smelly anyway because you're digging. But I wouldn't put suntan lotion on until during lunch, and then I was fine. And I still never got tan, but I never got burned either. So I mean, just for anyone out there who was like, oh, I'm going to go to the beach, and you only want to spend a few hours like me because that's all you can do on the beach, just be there an hour. Just like, oh, and you don't want to put on suntan lotion. Just don't shower in the morning. Shower after you leave the beach.
Well, when we go to the beach, it's this sounds very posh, but since having the luxury of having a summer house that our family allowed us to use, or my wife's family allowed us to use on the beach, and then which sucked is when they sold the place and we didn't longer have access to it. And then, we were forced into paying for it, right? So we actually got all of our friends.
Bastards.
Now we've got like a 3 or 4 or 5, actually, it's 5 different couples, and it's been like a 6-7 year tradition now where we all chip in and rent a house on the beach, right? So I will never not do that now because of how easy it is compared to not being on the beach when you have kids. So like, we have the luxury of being because of the place that we rent, that we get to, walk out the back door, just go right past the grill, right past the outside shower. In our backyard is like a trail down to the beach. So we literally get up in the morning and we spend the entire day on the beach. But we can, pop back up to the house to go inside for a bit or whatever. But for the majority of the day, we're on the beach.
It's funny you said that because my wife and I had an argument on the Amazing Race podcast a few weeks ago. They were in Croatia, and she was like, I said, yeah. She goes, you don't like the beach. I go, why do you keep saying this? We have the same argument over and over and over again. I didn't like the beach when the kids were kids because literally you're La Jolla Shores. They had the children's pool before the Sea Lions took it. They got blocked off. Literally, there's no parking. So I would drop everything off, or I drop the kids off, drop the wife off. They'd go out and start playing. I'd have to make 17 trips 2 miles away, back and forth. By the time I got there, people are, oh, we're tired. Can we go home? Okay, let me go start dragging. So I spent, if we were there for 5 hours, 4 hours was me walking back and forth with the car.
Yeah.
I'd finally get in to go snorkeling and do my thing. I know it's not my, but I'd play with the kids and stuff like you're saying. But I'd go out and do snorkeling. No, that's what I didn't like about the beach. It was a pain in the ass. It was a pain in the ass.
And we've been spoiled to the point now where we could never not do that.
No,
we've got like 3 or 4 couples. We've got, I've got 2 kids. Our friends have a son. We have groups of people who come down and spend a day or 2 with us. They've got 2 or 3 kids. It is just a pain in the ass. Not let alone like if we were, doing a regular public beach where you have to go to it and park, like the parking fees for a week to park at the beach, it's like $350, $400 to get a parking pass for a week.
Well, it's free at La Jolla, but you're talking about some of the most expensive real estate in America.
Good luck finding a parking spot at La Jolla, though.
Yeah, but I always, instead of parallel parking, why don't we put it at angles? So you get more. You could get. I figure you could probably get like 100 more cars in there. But the best thing is if you go in the parking lot, you have to go after the surfers are leaving. The surfers get there like 5, 6 in the morning. They usually leave about 10. But you have to wait for them to take off their wetsuits and they're smoke a few joints and then you have to be patient to get the parking space. But you can get in the parking lot if you're patient waiting for the surfers to leave. But if you don't get there, if you get there after 11, screw it. You're walking 16 miles away.
Can't you walk up to him and be like, I am an FBI agent, man? And then
my name is Johnny Utah.
and just you think about the little things too, like having lunch for everybody, right? Having lunch for the kids and all the adults. Like you have to like spend an hour prepping food before you leave to go to the beach. Whereas in this scenario, we're not spending $350, $400 a week per car.
You're really not selling this whole kid thing.
I know, but I'm selling the beachfront thing. That's what I'm trying to sell. I'm trying to sell the beachfront thing. Then now we can just pop up to the house and eat and go right back up to the beach. No problem. That's the best. But anyways, the major point I was making is that we spend the entire day, the entire week on the beach.
On the beach, yeah.
So I've already got my the kids call them rash guards when they're going surfing. It's just like an SPF shirt. I have a couple of those that I bought. Those things are fucking.
We just sucked it up when we were kids, but that's
suck up the skin cancer. My case in point.
I know what you mean though about being spoiled though, with locations, because I mean even Comic-Con is the same way. Because my first year, Colleen got us down at Imperial Beach. And we had to take the train.
I know when you guys told, I go, you're staying where?
Yeah, and
I remember that.
You're staying in Mexico?
Yeah, and basically, in my first year, because it was my first year, I had zero expectations. So to me, it was fine. I was like, oh, you just get up a little earlier, take the train up, no big deal. But then every year since, we've stayed roughly right there on top of the convention
yeah.
center. And now I'm like, if Colleen or Jim or someone was like, oh guys, I'm sorry, we really got shitty hotels at the Lotto this year. We're down in Imperial Beach. You'd be like, well, fuck it, I'm not going. Yeah, I'm like,
Wait, it's funny because when we first started going to Comic-Con, we were fucking broke. Like we don't.
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, dude, that year was my first year,
Yeah.
and I slept in a fucking tent on my buddy's back porch in Claremont.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with Claremont. I grew up
And I was
there.
taking a taxi down to the goddamn Gaslamp district. I didn't have enough money to rent a freaking car. You know,
Well, when I first started, I obviously stay with my mom. It's
Yeah.
like normally it's like 15 minutes to downtown, but Comic-Con it takes like 30. But the parking used to be like $10 to $12 for the day.
Right.
It's now well, last year it was $40 a day to park, and there's sometimes I'm only down there for an hour.
right.
I'm like going, I'm paying $40 for an hour to park. I feel like I gotta do something else.
I'm sorry, Jack, but have you not pulled the "Do you not know who I am"?
I did that. And they said, I don't know who the fuck you are. Go shave your back.
I have a panel in the library.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a panel in La Jolla, so can I get in?
Yeah, that works really well. But anyway, fuckers. But anyway, it just kills me. I think one year I went down there every day, and it was, I think at that time it was $35 a park. God, I spent close to $200 on just parking.
I know. Well, I'll tell you, I miss it though. It's been 7 years since I've been. You know, actually, the last time I went to Comic-Con, I got back, and the second I walked through the door, getting back home, is when my wife told me that she was pregnant with my daughter.
Oh, right. You've told that. Yeah, I remember that now.
I haven't been back since.
Yeah.
So yes, going back to that story about the kids are pains in the ass.
There you go. But I hate to be this way, but I don't mean this in a mean way. But you look around, most of the people at Comic-Con, you're thinking, okay, they're never gonna have kids. Am I right?
I mean, look at you. Have you ever been laid?
I'm just making a cheap joke.
It's like, man, you're dressed as Garfield. You are not.
Hey, there's a market for everything. Yeah. Do you want me to feed? You want to spread lasagna all over you, you dirty cat? I know what you mean though about parking, Jack. Like in 2014, I'm pretty sure Cliff and I drove down in my truck, and it was cheaper for us to go every 6 hours to feed the meter and just keep that same parking spot the whole week than it was to actually rent for the day.
Yeah, it's and the worst part is like where I usually park is off the stadium, but if I get there like Wednesday, you're parked at the top. Well, I stay there through preview night and all the different stuff. Usually hang out on top. It takes you like an hour to get from like I think there's 6 floors of the parking garage.
Right.
An hour just to get out of there. I was like going, so I just wait for all the traffic to get out of the way because it doesn't move because everybody has to pay. They're just taking for well, now you pay beforehand, I think. I don't know what it is, but it takes like an hour to get out of there. It's just a pain in the ass. I'm making Comic-Con sound real appealing to people.
That's great. I mean, it's gotten better in the last couple of years. I mean, the dark years were the twilight years, but it's been a steady improvement since then.
When you had the Heroes fans there too, they were.
And even now, like I think last year was the first year they did it, and they're doing it this year now. Even the exclusives are done by Lotto, so you can not all of the exclusives like the Hasbro ones, but like most of them now, you just you can say like, oh, I'm free between these hours and I want to apply for the Lotto for this, and then they draw them at random. So like you're like, oh yes, Chris, you do qualify for a Funko Pop vinyl between 2 and 3 o'clock on Thursday, and you're like, great, and so you can go and get it then instead of having to camp out all night and for the chance of getting in line to get a ticket to win the chance to get it. So it's like, oh, it's
I used to have a lot of people send me on Twitter and Facebook, hey Jack, I know you're going to Comic-Con. Can you wait in line and get me? I go, no. Yeah. I go. I hate to tell you this, but no.
You just laugh at them like, oh my.
I go. I'm old and I go nowhere near that. I go. I'm sorry. I go. I just don't. I can't stand in line for 10 hours. I go. I apologize. I go. You're going to probably have to buy it on eBay, someone at a higher price. I go. But I go. I get it, but I can't do it for you.
Oh yeah, my nephew wants me to get the Lego exclusive from this year, which is a Captain Marvel thing and some little spaceship. And he's like, "Can you get this for me, Uncle Nick?" And I just want to laugh at him, like, no. I'm like, you realize I'd have to camp out all night just to get in line to get a chance of getting a ticket, and then have to wait in another line to get that exclusive. And the only good thing about those Lego exclusives though is that they are worth a fuck ton within just a couple of years. But it's just like it's not worth it.
I've got a Thor exclusive from probably it had to have been that year, so that would have been 2013. I haven't checked to see what the value is on it, but it's like one of the.
Is that the first Thor movie? Is that first Thor movie related?
Great question.
First movie though. No, the first movie came out in 2010 or 11.
Okay, I can't remember when the first.
Oh, I got a couple of them.
I've been wanting to rewatch the original Thor.
Because my first. Oh, I've got that. No, that's from 2009. I've got that one too. Yeah, it should have the exclusive sticker on it. What's the date on there? Like not on the front cover there. That silver sticker. 2010. Yeah, that's actually worth some money. Like that one, they released two of them. They had the Captain America and the Thor. Yeah, you got them both. I got them both too. Because that's the last generic face before Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth became the characters.
I have a ton of shit in here that I haven't seen since it moved. Hold on a second.
But yeah, I looked at because like those cost Chris and I have those too. Those cost I think $8.99 or $10 at Comic-Con that year, and the next year they're worth $30 a piece, and I want to say they're worth probably about $100 or $200 a piece now. Both of those action figures.
It's amazing that you even found Das Boot when you got all of this other stuff.
No, here's the Thor.
And there's the Thor, yeah.
Comic-Con. Dude, I just found a treasure trove of shit.
Yeah.
I see your Star Wars. There's something in a Star Wars container back there too.
The only exclusive I've ever bought at Comic-Con that's worth absolutely nothing is the Hasbro 2012.
Who is it?
I can't see it.
Oh, Twin Cloud Car Pilot.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It was the 2012 Hasbro exclusive, and it was a carbonite chamber with a figure from.
Actually,
yeah. I thought it was going to be worth some money because in the center of the carbonite chamber is Jar Jar Binks frozen in carbonite. But it's actually nobody wants it. It's worth nothing.
Yeah. Huh. Go figure.
I can't see that one either.
Battlestar Galactica and a Cylon? Is that
a Cylon?
It's a Cylon Centurion.
Oh
man.
I mean, if Jay was on this podcast right now, he'd be like, I will offer you $5 for that one. And
well, speaking of Comic-Con.
All these I got from Sorry. Now I'm down a rabbit hole.
That's true.
That's great, Jack. Really great.
I'm just saying. Am I wrong?
What do you think of these, Nick? Oh, hold on. Let me look around. Look at each other.
He'd have a whole different voice. He'd be,
Are these all from Comic-Con 2010?
No, some of these I think I
yeah, those are cool.
My local comic book shop, I think.
Looks like I'm pretty organized.
Speaking of Comic-Con, I just wanted to mention that the Ramble Cast will be going on a bit of a. We're not on a hiatus, but we'll be down a little bit. We're
gonna try and figure. We're gonna have a week off the month of July, but we're trying to figure out how we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Basically, next week we'll be off. So, due to the fact that
it's the 4th of July, all that stuff.
You got barbecues to go to. So there's other things.
Chris has back hair removal, so that's going to be an all-day thing.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to do it. I'm scared.
Do we still have anybody left in the chat?
Probably not. After that shit.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They did all leave.
They all left?
I think, no. Let me see. No, we've got they're still there.
Do they have any questions?
No one said anything in a while.
Do they have any questions for any of us? We'll answer them honestly. You guys waded through the technical difficulties, so go ahead and
Trice is still here.
AMA. We're totally open for business. What is that lawsuit thing there?
Dharma. Who's that?
Oh, Claire.
Claire.
Oh,
Oh, I
Claire.
remember that one came out. Yeah,
Is that Scary Claire?
it's the Squirrel Baby Claire.
Squirrel
Okay.
Baby Claire, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got, let's see, I got Hurley. Richard
Oh, I
Alfred.
see them. Yeah, I see the bobblehead collection back there.
Yeah.
God, all this
I
shit.
got the Jack bobblehead. Me.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I remember when Colleen and we got those commissioned. Oh,
That was the coolest gift I think I've ever gotten.
yeah.
I like the John Locke one. It's got him old, eating the apple or no,
Oh,
the orange.
So no questions from anybody?
All we have is that they're all still here.
they already know everything about us.
kidding
So
me?
I have no questions for us.
JP and I are going to do a Big Brother thing on Crazy Ain't TV. So I'm going to start that tomorrow. I've only watched a few episodes of Big Brother. JP's going to be the expert, so I'm just going to be the novice going, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Chris. I mean, Amy says it's like show and tell day for Chris.
I know, that's
Yeah.
crazy. So I just looked up that Thor figure, and okay, it's worth $25.
Oh,
Woo! There you go.
yeah. This one hadn't gone up much in the last few years. Then
$25. That's it. You paid how much?
I don't know,
24.
like $15.
$24.99. I paid.
yeah, the
Got this really cool calculator here. It's exclusive to Dolphin Papers. We've had it here for
that a
really
solar
long
one?
time.
it's a solar.
I had that one.
It's a Casio.
Special Staples brand here.
That's I've told the story before, but I went to Radio Shack years ago and I had my business. My calculator broke, so I went over to Radio Shack. I get the calculator, it's $19.99. He goes, "You want to get a warranty for this one?" I go, well, how much is the warranty? He goes, $20. I go, all right, seriously. Are
Yeah.
you serious? He goes, yeah. I go, the calculator's $19.99. Why would I pay $20 for a warranty?
No shit.
Have you sold a lot of these? And I still have that calculator, and it still works.
Yeah.
It's over 20 years old.
You could have bought a second calculator, saved yourself
Exactly.
some money.
Well, now I have a phone, so I don't need a calculator.
Yeah, exactly. One of my favorite memes of like the last year was, like all those teachers that you heard growing up were like, "You're not always gonna have a calculator with you at all times." You're like, "Yeah, well, suck it."
The other day when I was looking for the Lego piece,
Yeah.
I didn't ask for a flashlight. I said, "Hey, can you get me my phone?"
Yeah.
Right?
I have like 20 flashlights around the house. Not that I asked for one flashlight, I asked for my phone.
My son did the same thing to me today. So asked for my phone to use it as a flashlight. So
I use it probably every day.
and your phone.
Well, I don't call that many people, so
Well, it is funny. Like we have a phone, but most of us don't actually use the phone. Like we use it for everything else but that. Because it's like when you have friends, like, "Hey, can you give me a call?" I'm like, "Can we just keep texting?" Like
yeah, because the call's gonna take forever.
yeah, it's like you're gonna get me in a conversation, and we're never gonna hang up. And
Yeah, and I'm gonna end up not listening to you, and you're gonna say what? I'm gonna say what?
but it's crazy, and like 15 years ago, they were charging 25 cents per text, to send, and now it's like that's all we do.
The only people I really call, honestly, are you guys. So
Yeah.
it's like
You haven't called me in a long time. You haven't called me in a long time, man.
I'm talking about this phone conversation right here. This is basically.
I don't count that.
SMS package.
Yeah.
I know back in the day when you could pay so much a month for unlimited texting.
Hmm?
Oh yeah.
We asked Jay, said, "Jay, do you want this unlimited?" He goes, "I don't text anybody." We started dating Colleen. So I sit there to see him like this. I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm texting." I go, "Well, you only have 100 texts. How many texts have you?" He goes, "Huh?" He had a bill like about $200.
Yeah.
I go, "Well, I'm not paying that." So then we were able to do it. Say, "Hey, it was supposed to be on my account."
Oh.
And we were able to save ourselves. He said, "I wasn't going to pay for it." I go, "Why don't you just tell us? I'd rather pay the $19 a month than could you sit there and just text.
But in hindsight, that relationship was well worth the investment.
For who?
Yeah. Where's the
For
logic?
all of us, 'cause
Where's the
she posts
logic?
episodes.
I have my kids. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I got grandkids out of it. Like, okay, all right.
You got grandkids, and I mean, she basically posts the episodes.
Well, she didn't send me the link to the
Not the show link.
Well, I can't say that that's on her.
She didn't
just-
check that over.
It's my fault because it's always there, so I just assumed it would be, so it's my fault.
I got $10 says that Colleen probably sent in the link. Jack just has no idea where you are.
No, she said she forgot. She goes, no, it's in the email. It is in the email, but I said, well, my computer's acting up, and I didn't want to take a chance on losing everything that took me forever to get on there. It was like one of those things where you don't want to touch it.
Your computer's in real shit. If you're scared that if you open your email, it's gonna crash.
It's just too much information for this little puppy to take.
It took seriously. It took 20 fucking minutes to get this thing hooked up. Maybe I'm the one that put the thumbs down on this thing. I don't know. Maybe
Did you eat an edible beforehand?
have not. No, have
Okay.
not.
He's talking too fast.
It just with the computer. I don't know if it's the internet or if it's just the computer. But
The
it
20
just
minutes
was
was
like,
just really 2 minutes.
well, all day long, the whole episode. Like a lot of times, you guys I don't even see you. It's just black.
Oh.
Oh, that's ironic.
Yeah, it is.
I was about to say.
Drake says in the chat, says, I had a brownie and don't have any questions that can be answered. I appreciate the honesty. Hey, so we did get a message back from the Naughty Catholic, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
I sent it to Matt.
Did not.
Oh, you did? Oh, so Naughty Catholic says, thanks for answering my questions and thank you for the choice of drawings. As great as the Unabomber pick is, I think I'm going to go with the Fat Cat. It won't require as much explanation if someone.
I didn't think about that. If you had the Unabomber picture, people would be probably going, "What that? Well, why do you have that?"
Just on your fridge, just hanging up. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
My
I will,
grandkids.
I will get to mailing that out. That is on my list of to-dos, as well as getting.
It should be easier. It's not like I've sent Jessica one that's in Canada.
I know.
No. What I was going to say though is, and Ro, I still owe you a drawing. I'm sorry to be so pokey about that. I will get you.
Going on vacation soon, so that's not happening for a while.
Actually, when I go on vacation is when I usually have more time to draw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I was checking to see if we had any reviews, and I said, "Well, let me check all the reviews." And I haven't checked the reviews in a while. Man, there were some harsh ones out there. Not on ours, but on some other podcasts. There was one on Survivor that kind of was at J, and there was one for
Network. You mean other shows?
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Oh.
There was one for Westworld that was kind of angry towards me, but I'm like, yeah, whatever, fuck off. There was one on Amazing. We got a bad one on Amazing Race because the person said it was playing too loud, but he obviously, and I even answered him in an email. He still gave us a bad review, and I'm like going, it had to be something that he did on his end. You know how you can speed up the show you're listening to?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's something he did, but we got one. So I've never argued a review. I put. We should not be getting a bad review because this guy screwed up. And it's still up there. It's still up there. And normally I don't care. Sometimes I go, yeah, you're right. Okay, it's okay. Fuck off. I don't need to shut the fuck up. You didn't pay anything for the show.
This is really encouraging our listeners.
It is.
But if you send a 5-star review, I won't say shit. I don't even care if you bash me.
Speaking of,
I listen to the show. I'm giving this show 5 stars, even though Jack sucks. I don't care. I got 5 stars.
Yeah, we did.
I'm going to give this show 4 stars, but if Jack didn't suck so much, it would have gotten 5.
Speaking of reviews, we did get a review.
Ooh, all right. 5. Wait, hold on a second. 5 stars?
It is a 5-star. It's from TLGC. I'm not sure who that is.
TLGC.
Okay.
Tender loving God care.
Yeah.
When was it dated?
What is it again? TLGC?
Yep, TLGC.
I don't know.
Too long. I got nothing.
Gastrocolon.
Yeah.
It just came in today.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 5 stars. It says, "They make me laugh" is the title. I look forward to this podcast every week. It may seem odd to feel like I know the people that I only listen to and haven't met, but I feel like we are just sitting around talking together and talking. I may be the only one that talks less than Nick, but at least I don't get interrupted. Every week they share what's going on in their lives, and there are always some funny stories from the past. Nick's openings are a great start. Love his mom stories. Matt sneaks in some funny comments, and he might be my favorite. Chris always shares some great opinions and keeps it light, even when sharing some latest thing that went wrong. Jack, well, he randomly sings songs, forgets a few names, but also has some funny stories and comments. It makes me laugh when they pick on each other. I enjoy when Jay occasionally shows up. You might have to give it a few listens to get to know the personalities and see why it all works, but it's worth the time.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was a nice review. You burned the Unabomber?
You've earned the Unabomber Award.
Not to give you second choice, but
Perhaps you can make a fight here with boobs.
Did you draw anything today? Did you?
no, I doodled this flattened soccer ball at some point. It looks more like a pancake of some type, so it wasn't really a great drawing, and it's on my UPS label because I'm at work. So I have been podcasting from home, little behind the scenes, and which is where all my markers and my paper is. But today I ran to work to podcast because better internet connection, which I don't know why I upped my internet, but for whatever reason, I'm having some hiccups there. So to get a better, cleaner stream, I came to work, and not to.
It is better.
It is better.
For that person, so the person that did that gave us the review, you can send to get your drawings, send your information to rcadcast@gmail.com. Say, I'm the one that gave the great review, and Matt might be my favorite, whatever you want. You get the drawing whether you said it or not. I mean, it's okay.
I've got some drawings in the warehouse there too. So I'll send you something. I promise that.
I did like what Nick sent in the RCA the Ramblecast chat about Matt's drawing class.
Oh,
3 days ago.
Okay, and just to let the other listeners in, I've never had a male model hula hoop in the nude. So.
Oh, come on.
Well, if you did and that guy showed up, you'd have more students.
Hey, Nick, who was the reviewer again? Was it?
It was LCGC.
I mean,
RLGC. Sorry.
Oh, RLGC. I thought you said EL.
I just wanted to comment on something that the reviewer.
No, sorry, it's T. Sorry, TLGC.
TLGC. I just wanted to comment on something that TLGC mentioned.
Hold on a second. I think I know who that is.
Okay. Well, cool.
I'm not going to say it online.
I just want to say, like, they made a comment about how you feel like you know the people when you're listening to them over and over again, and I can say firsthand knowledge. It's so true. I can remember going back in the day when we were listening to Jay and Jack, right, and then it's something we listened to twice a week. I listened to Jay and Jack more than I listened to my then girlfriend, now wife, at that time of my life. But it's so true. And then we started going to things like the Metrobuzz podcast, and then the Media Junkyard guys, which I became one of. But it's so weird how, like, it's somebody you listen to, you get their personalities after a few shows, and it's very, very cool. But that's what this whole community is all about, with the Jay and Jack Facebook group, the Patreon group. It's just a great group of people hanging out, and we didn't have all of that, back 10, 12, 13, however long ago it was, how many years ago it was.
We had a message board.
Fucking message boards. Those sucked. Like, those sucked bad. Like, it was just like
you remember the message.
But at the time, those things were cool.
Yeah.
They were, but looking back, it was just so shitty compared to what there's available to us now. But If you're listening and you haven't been there yet, please do check out the Jane Jack Facebook group. And if you do become a patron, you want to support the show, the patrons group is one of the most fun and lively groups. I get notifications all day long of people posting stuff on there, and I look forward to going in. I don't comment on everything, but I do read almost everything.
It's a place where everybody seems to get along. It's almost like Cheers. Everybody knows your name.
It is, yeah. That's good.
I can tell you that the most over the past 12 years when I started listening to the shows and stuff, I think the most valuable relationships that were made were with fellow listeners that started off with the boards and then meeting up at places like Comic-Con when we didn't give a damn about parking, and all that, and all of that has led to Nick and I, right? So Nick and I we got to hang out like years and years ago, and here we are doing a show together, right? And then meeting Matt.
Wait, did you interrupt Nick back then too?
Of course I did.
Probably.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but join us if you haven't already. Check it out. We have a lot of fun over there.
Exactly, and again, being a patron, you can just go to jandjack.com, click on the little button that says "I want to be a patron," and it's as easy as that. Also, Amazon. If you shop Amazon, same thing. Just go to jandjack.com, click on Amazon. It looks like your normal Amazon page. Everything you purchase helps all the podcasts on here. We have the broadcast, Big Little Lies, the RCAD, Owen and Bruce Barbecue, which is, I guess, okay. And you have the Stranger Things is coming back, and also
can't wait.
The Amazing Race is finishing up tomorrow, actually. And Survivor, when Survivor's on, and blah, 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 blah. Game of Thrones, whenever when the sequel comes back, or whatever, not sequel.
So yeah, the Amazon link, buy your hula hoop for your modeling sessions.
Exactly.
Or your flattened soccer balls if you need those. If you donate or give, as so to speak, at the patron level of $5, you get all the bonus podcasts that come along with the shows, and at the $15 level, you get the live feed. So you get to join us live and either chat with us, yell at us, ask us a question.
Usually it starts on time.
Yeah, sometimes the plane gets off the ground a little late, so we apologize for that today.
Shit, it never starts on time.
As I say, I've never known to start on time.
We've actually been pretty good lately at starting on time, I think.
We make up for it in length.
And
well, to be fair, Nick and I were here at 9:20. Right.
Yeah. Well, that's you guys.
Yeah.
Well, Das Boot right here. So.
So pick up your Das Boot and join us in a week's time. We'll be back.
Yeah, next week. We're off next week. Go back and catch up. If you follow behind the episodes, go back and catch up on all the past. It's like a soap opera. You have to listen. If you miss an episode, you're gonna get confused on what's going on. But go back and catch up on the last 12 episodes and listen to those. But at this time, we're going to thank Tack from Paris, Eckhart Rickner Glappeler, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with a Plan, Ed the Creepy Letter Carrier, and the Drake the Destroyer.
Tack
Thank
move?
you, Drake. Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Last week. Yeah. From Tokyo to Paris. I had enough trouble going when I used to live in San Diego, going from across the street.
Big bug on my computer. It's going right in front of the camera. Sorry.
Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for everyone who joined in the chat. Thanks for everyone.
Sorry, I just like your face.
But a good screenshot. But thanks for everyone who waited for our technical difficulties and for Matt and Chris to show up really late. But that's all I got. I'm out of here. Great show, kids. 1 in a million. See you next Tuesday. Well, we won't. Hasta luego and goodbye.
Great show, guys. 1 in a million.
Bye.